It's midnight where we are in Tehran. This is Press TV.
Thanks for joining us. The head of Hezbollah has accused Israel of assassinating former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik al-Hariri. Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah says he has proof that Israel was responsible for the killing back in 2005. Nasrallah says he will unveil sensitive information about his accusation at a press conference on Monday. The leader of Hezbollah said the possibility of Tel Aviv waging a war on Lebanon always exists. This because of what he called Israel's hostile nature. In response, he called on all Lebanese to be cautious and ready. He added that the only thing that can defend Lebanon from Israeli aggression is unity. Well, at least 4 Lebanese, including 3 soldiers and a senior Israeli army officer, have been killed in clashes in southern Lebanon.
Israel's foreign ministry warned Lebanon of consequences if violence continued. Lebanon's prime minister condemned what he called Israeli aggression and said Lebanese sovereignty had been violated.
At noon, local time, southern Lebanon witnessed clashes between Israeli and Lebanese armed forces after the 2006 Israeli war on Lebanon, a war widely seen as a victory for the resistance movement Hezbollah. The group's leader, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, has in recent weeks warned of a new war in the country, saying that the upcoming findings of the UN-backed tribunal over former Premier Rafik Hariri's death has a political aim to sow tension and possible violence in Lebanon. It's a charge the tribunal rejects. For now, it's still not clear if Tuesday's clashes are just a spark from a misunderstanding or related to the growing tension in the country. But what's clear is that they're a timely reminder of how volatile Lebanon can become in just a blink of an eye.
To tell us a little bit more about the recent happenings in Lebanon, I'm joined by our correspondent there, Mariam Saleh. Mariam, if you hear me, tell us more about the reactions to the Tuesday clashes.
Well, of course, Lebanon, all of Lebanon, officials and the people are quite angry, of course, at what happened. They wanted to see more action for retaliation against the Israelis. Now, the Lebanese army said that it had things on its hands, and up until then, this is what they were able to do. Of course, Hezbollah's leader, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, was quite clear today in saying that he was asked to remain restrained, to exercise restraint. He said, this time we did, but next time, in any future attack on the Lebanese army, we will not exercise restraint. We will not stand idly by and not retaliate, especially for the Lebanese army. Why the Lebanese army? Because specifically, he believes they have sacrificed too much for Lebanon, especially during the July war, and they are open, they are uncovered to the Israelis. Their posts are quite clearly there. They don't have the capabilities, they don't have the Air Force to be able to deter Israel's Air Force that strikes them quite easily, of course. Now, as you know, we have 3 soldiers that were killed today. And today, Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah spoke of a trilogy, a certain equation that includes Hezbollah, the people, and the army. He said this was baptized today. This was today. We know how strong this is and how this will be maintained, as it was in the July war. It seemed that Israel today was somehow testing this, testing to see what the Israeli army would do if they were to cross the Lebanese border. They were quite stunned. This is something that we heard from Israeli officials. They're quite stunned that the Lebanese army refused that even if it was 1 inch, that the Israeli soldiers would not cross the blue line that was drawn by the unifil. This is something they were quite blunt about. And today, of course, we saw a courageous, as many Lebanese considered it, courageous stance from the Lebanese army. Now, of course, the issue of what's happening right now on the southern border, things are quite calm. For now, UNIFIL seems to have succeeded in coordinating between the Lebanese army and the Israeli army on maintaining the calm. And there will be, of course, other meetings in order for them to maintain this, Resolution 1701.
Of course, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the developments there in Lebanon. Thanks to Mariam Saleh, our correspondent in Lebanon, Beirut.
Now, reports say Lebanese military intelligence has arrested a high-ranking army officer on suspicion of spying for Israel. The army colonel was reportedly detained several days ago. Lebanon has arrested some 50 people in recent months in connection with alleged Israeli espionage activities. On Monday, a senior manager at Lebanese cell phone service provider, Ogero, was arrested on suspicion of spying for Israel. Authorities also arrested an employee of Lebanon's Alpha mobile telephone company on spying charges, the third worker from the company to be detained in a month. The arrests spark fears in Beirut that Israeli intelligence has extensively penetrated Lebanon's communications infrastructure.
U.S. public support for the war in Afghanistan has hit a record low after the leak of secret military documents by a whistleblower website. A USA Today Gallup poll shows public confidence in President Barack Obama's war policy has plunged to a new low of 36%. 43% of Americans believe the U.S. made a mistake in sending troops to Afghanistan. Obama's overall ratings have also plunged to a new low, with only 41% of the U.S. public saying they approve of his performance. The growing public doubt about the Afghan war comes after thousands of documents on the war were recently released by whistleblower website WikiLeaks.